Travis Head drops to one knee. The back knee collapses. I'm already saying yes. And he slaps him over the offside, over and over and over again. He lifts his bat in the air. The lid comes off. Adelaide stands as one. He is home. Dad is home. Daddy is home. We are home. Travis Head, the man they call the bin lid. He's taken us home. Adelaide, we are home. Australia, we are home. Here's Big Basket now.
This is Baby Now. And this is BB Now. Matlab Big Basket Now. Delivering in 10 minutes.
Pezza, a great day of Test cricket today because our team is winning. This one is just for the Aussie fans out there. So, you know, we can say whatever we like. And we will about Mo Siraj later. But this is an exciting time. Travis Head, his average is about 1 million in Adelaide. He's a guy that's playing at home. We're at home. This is our home.
Australia has a day. Australia finally, he goes, has a day. Travis Head is the story of the day, but can I shout out for a second the bedrock of Travis Head's innings? I know we're going to get into what Head is.
Okay.
And all that's going to be said and done about that, but without Sydney McSweeney, as many people know him, without Marnus' 64, Sydney McSweeney's 39, Head doesn't come in against a soft ball. You know, like Australia executed their batting game plan finally in a situation where many people argued that Australia would never score a run again in cricket, you know, and nor would the people that were going to be after the Australian batters. So
fair criticism.
Shout out to McSweeney. Shout out to Marnus, who paved the way for, like, I don't know if you want to set this up, but like we were watching a hometown boy play the innings that one imagines that they would play in the backyard. Like this afternoon was a beautiful, seminal backyard innings of cricket. Like, it is the sort of innings that you would watch as a child and go, I can do that. Because it was an academy. It's refined in an academy. It's elite. It's global elite. But it is the sort of innings you play. It is global elite.
It's global elite leftist.
Exactly, centre left. It's refined in an academy.
Two legs left.
I'm sure there's biomechanics, and I'm sure there's technical precision that we don't understand as everyday people. But like it is the epitome of hometown, friends in the members, swashbuckle. Elite. Like that is what Australians historically and presently look for in an innings. And this is at a time when there couldn't ever be a greater disparity between the old generations and the current. Travis Head today was a unifier at home. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be born today.
Could be.
You could die today. And that innings from Travis Head was Australia.
That is so beautifully put, especially in an economic crisis.
Cost of living crisis.
Where people don't know how much a pint of milk is. Can you get a pint of milk? Now, the umpires were asking that specifically, and that was quite a specific request that the umpires put in. Can we get a pint of milk in here?
That's right, and it's a separate issue.
Richard, fuck off, okay? First and foremost. But it was a swashbuckling...
And stop walking in with a bowler, Richard.
Mate, do you want to come through? Come through. You're fine.
You're fine.
You're fine.
No, get the camera.
Siraj the fuckwit. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah,
it's all good. Yeah, you wouldn't have said that. Forfeit, Mo Siraj.
We're outside the ground here in Adelaide Oval. There's a fair bit going on. Anyway, Travis Head, when he scores a ton, he pays tribute to his newborn baby, and of course, the mother of the baby, Jessica. And he cradles a bat in the arms, you know. And I feel like I was Travis Head's bat for that moment because he carried me home. Now, Pezza, dare to dream in your mind's eye right now. When you were a child, all we wanted to do as kids was score 100 at the stadium that was nearest to our house. Whether that be, you know, Warringah, aquatic centre, which was a swimming pool, which is an entirely different
That's
thing
right.
altogether.
It's a strange place to score 100, but you could score one nonetheless.
100-second,
Your
50-metre
sister
freestyle
was
baps.
training. Your sister was training for swimming. You had a tennis ball and a mini bat that your father got you. You haven't seen him for a few weeks, but he got you the mini bat from the SCG where he was drinking with his friends.
Mike Whitney. Yeah. And I said, you know what? Who dares wins? Can I have a sayo in 30 seconds?
Give us some throwdowns, please.
Anyway,
About half
how
a
good's that
pack.
at the back at Adelaide? Anyway, that's beside the point. But all we wanted to do as kids was score 100 for the country at the stadium nearest to our house that housed the Australian cricket team, right? And when Travis Head pushed to the offside, I think it was, no, he actually pushed to the leg side, and he scurried through his Saka teammate, Alex Carey. You know, in many ways, a poor man, Sidney McSweeney. They're both interchangeable in the same way that they're basically the same person. Anyway, and then I saw the members, which is actually half the stadium, stand up and clap, and I thought, oh my God, this is actually what people talk about in commentary. This is a childhood realisation moment.
Can you imagine how many people of the 35,000 were saying, and I actually had a bit to do with Travis as he was coming through the ranks at Tea Tree Valley,
he grew up in my
Gully
street.
or whatever the fuck it is.
I used to sell ice there.
He declined my offer for ice. Nevertheless, I still offered it to him.
He's wearing those
I knew
bollies, though.
it was playing Saka 19s and that kind of thing, so I thought, oh, just take it easy on Trav.
Anyway,
they're in the members.
No, he scored hundreds here before. Of course he has, but like in a series where like Australia was so fucking desperate, I keep
the desperation.
Mate,
speaking of meth,
this team is on the precipice of just falling off a cliff. But this team keeps finding a way. Someone in the team, they keep finding a fucking way, like ways to scrap something, and somehow Australia find themselves 3-1 up in the series.
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe it's going to be 4-1, but in 2 days they've done it.
Yeah. And
for
also,
a team of,
Siraj is the biggest coat that's coming in years.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk? Yeah, sorry.
No, not
people
yet,
are waiting for the
I know
Siraj
they are.
stuff.
I know they are. Yeah. Anyway,
and that's Australians who are tuning in.
Anyway, Travis Head was so like he you know what? In many ways, he rode his luck. You know, but it was so electric.
Is there any other way?
No, there's
to deal with luck.
There's not. But he also was facing Harshit Rana for 3 overs, thinking like you are genuinely a fourth grader. And you know, Harshit Rana's got in the faces of the Aussies. You know, good luck to him. And there's been lots of energy on that side of the opposition here. And you know, you've got to pay testament to that. And we kind of like that as well. We like it when we're winning, and also the other team are fuckwits.
It's Netflix.
Totally right, mate. Anyway, so it is the most perfect day for Australia and for Travis Head because it's a hometown 100. There's Coates Deluxe in the opposition. Australia's leading the game. It's levelled a great series, and it makes this series so fascinating and intriguing as well. Thoughts?
Just a final word, which I say 20 metres away from the podcast after the same name, for Travis Head. Like, the guy can lasso, he can whip, he can work, he can crash. The manner of ball striking for the guy who ends with what, 140?
140 off 141, I think.
That's right. Built on a bedrock of like a fucking Christian hard yakka.
Yeah, it's good shit.
From a couple of Queenslanders.
Yep.
By the way.
Yep.
He doesn't play that innings without the hard yakka.
A couple of missionaries went out there.
Well,
so
and,
he could go doggy.
They can get it, and missionaries can get a bad rap.
They can.
They can, especially when it comes to... Anyway,
For Head to come in reverse cowgirl. That's what's happened today.
Exactly. Not to be confused with COVID cowgirl. But 140 for Heady. Australia, like, I never feel Australia is safe.
No.
I never feel they're safe.
No.
I still don't feel they're safe.
No.
And we'll come to that.
Yeah.
But, like... The game plan came together. It turns out Australia can still play cricket.
Yeah.
We will get into the characteristics and behaviours of the Indian team in a second. But it is Travis Head's day at hometown Adelaide Oval, and like I feel like the way he celebrated was a guy who is knowing. He's had his second child.
Yeah.
Right. He is fully into fatherhood. He knowingly puts the helmet on the head of the bat, and just waves it to the crowd. And he's like, it doesn't get any better than this.
No.
Saturday afternoon at Adelaide Oval, and you've brought up 100 runs, striking at 90 against a team with many, like home to who many people are saying is the greatest bowler who's ever lived.
Right, yeah, literally last week.
It really is the stuff dreams are made of. And the way he celebrated, just going like, I am going to every corner of the ground here.
Right.
And not only that, I might get the boys an early tea time at Royal Adelaide on Sunday with the clip that I'm going at. If Kratz can go and do his damage, which he does, then maybe we get an early tea time tomorrow afternoon.
Monday, 4 ball, 10:30 a.m. I can get this done for you boys. And he waves to every corner because it's a small town, Adelaide, really.
Exactly,
and he knows everyone here. He knows
and if he doesn't
here.
wave to the corner,
it's an issue, all right, let's do the intent now, Stephen. Thanks to Big Basket Now. Thank you very much to Big Basket Now for getting behind TGC through the Border Gavaskar series and indeed the IPL during the early part of this year as well. Big Basket Now, I mean, they are generally dominating the quick commerce space, as we know.
And we've always said that.
And you can get anything that you need, anything you're thinking of right now in 10 minutes, it can be delivered to your door. I can't talk, but, that's a separate issue.
What would Indians at home need right now from Big Basket? Laughing gas?
Well, they needed lubricant today, Pezza, because they were absolutely pumped from woe to go. Now, that's crass, different to Kratz, of course, but that's what's happened today. Now, let's talk about the dismissal of Travis Head.
I've got to say, the BB Now boys were not texting on the thread today.
It was weird.
It was weird. I just didn't hear a lot from the Indian guys today.
Because in the first test match, they were saying, it was actually a really good matchup. It felt like Australia were getting pumped, but they were saying, even like Stark's doing well.
You just didn't hear a lot.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's also some of the viewers, they feel it's a really good series.
But anyway, on Big Basket, if you do want lubricant.
Okay, the dismissal of Travis Head, he misses a full toss. And I think that's Siraj's either first or second wicket for the innings. He's put in a stint himself. And we know Mo Siraj, to get the best out of Siraj, he's got to be up and about.
Oh, yeah.
He thrives off energy. He thrives off competition. He thrives off combativeness,
He's a man of mist.
He's a man of red mist. And Travis Head's on 140, and he's basically won the game for the country. For Australia. And
so you're calling that now? It's game over?
I am.
Rishabh's in and it's game over.
I am calling it, yeah.
Yep.
The game's over.
Sweet.
Siraj sort of leans in and gives a couple of eyes, maybe says something first.
Maybe the eyes are wider than they need be for a guy that scored 140.
Right. And then Travis Head goes back and he says, "Fuck off, cunt." That's what I'm lip reading with the mouthing situation.
And you could be wrong, but you have lip read before. Could easily, yeah. And you've played a bit of cricket.
I did some decrypting and coding in Year 9.
Okay.
Anyway, so he, and then
Siraj goes back.
Siraj goes back and he gesticulates, and he says "fuck off" himself. Now, this is both sides of the fence here. I feel like Travis was sort of quick to fire back.
As you would be if you've made 140 in front of your home
crowd. Yeah, and probably won the game, in a long 5-test series, which we've all craved for so long.
Yes.
And but also from an Indian fan perspective, just we like it when Siraj gets in the face of the opposition. We love the passion.
To compensate for the hostility that Bumrah lacks.
Yeah, we lack.
Which is one of his weaknesses as the greatest fast bowler of all time.
And many people don't realise this, but what has actually happened here is that Bumrah's spells in this series have been so electric that guys that have done fuck all in the game get to puff the chest out.
Hang on. Fuck all or 3/5 of fuck all?
Yeah. So those are two separate things.
3/5 or 3/5?
Now, Harshit Rana is going to be an excellent cricketer. And the salad is just unbelievable.
I mean, it's out of control.
The hairline,
it's world class. It's
Bumrah-esque. Genuinely world class.
Yeah.
In terms of rupees and crores, you're looking at record numbers.
It's for days. A hairline's for days.
But he's played 2 tests, and he's sledging the fuck out of guys that have won everything.
It's minoxidil stuff.
Right.
It's.
But if I'm an Indian, I'm I like that he's getting in the faces of these Aussies. They've got to compete at all times. Now, I said this yesterday, but it takes one to know one. You come across as the biggest fuckwit of all time. Now,
what is that? Do you mean? Are you suggesting that if you can't change the game yourself with your own cricket, but you're running in the slipstream of a guy that's really good, and therefore saying that you can be a coach?
Yeah.
That you're one of the biggest fuckwits of all time. Is that what you're trying to say?
But that's how cricket works.
Yes.
That's exactly how cricket works, because you can just get in the slipstream.
Bumrah is creating insurance for guys being fuckwits.
And also, we need to... this rivalry needs villains.
Yes.
Because there's been too many heroes for the last 20 years on both sides, and we've
and
celebrated
Cummins
the heroes.
refuses to be a villain.
And Australians are laughing because they're buying extensions and fourth bedrooms and second houses and beach houses, right? So no one's going to go back. So like the Indians have open slather here, and that's their prerogative and they're right. But like at the same time, if you're bowling 120 and you're bowling pump,
$120.
But if you're bowling $120, but you've got a guy who's having one of the all-time greatest series in the history of the game, you have free reign of like anything you can say. You know what I mean? So it's a confusing one.
Which is
it's
why
a confusing
I'm
one.
calling on, and I think it's it's high time someone did this.
Yeah.
I'm calling on the guys in the Australian Test team who aren't eligible for the IPL to step up.
That's exactly what we're saying.
You know, the guys who don't have a an extension on the deck riding on their behaviour to actually start replying, because I know the Hill at Adelaide was replying today.
They were.
But I'm calling on Nathan Lyon.
They were chipping in.
I'm calling on Marnus. Who's just getting slower and slower. I'm calling on Nathan McSweeney for now to actually start stepping up. I know
Mark
McSweeney. I'm calling on Brendan Doggett from the sidelines. I mean, I think Slug might get a gig one day, so maybe he should take it easy.
Be careful,
But there's a couple of coats knocking about for India, and I reckon when the big old locomotives can't slow down and they're going at sixes, I reckon just chat shit, get banged. Do you know what I'm saying?
If you've done 3/5 of fuck all,
Yeah.
maybe call your jets. But if you got the greatest of all time in your squad, have a go. That's all I'm saying. It's an interesting one. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, going on.
To set up the day's play, it was a roller coaster first session because Australia.
Oh, we're talking about the day's play now.
Australia's mantra though to set up the day was just how long can we bat for? Can we bat for so long they have to postpone Christmas kind of vibes, right?
Yep.
And it didn't work out. They lost 3 wickets in the first session. McSweeney got a good ball. It felt like Marnus played a loose shot, caught a gully. He batted really nicely. They set the game up for the Australian in their game plan sense. And then
Marnus's innings is big, by the way.
It's as match winning as heads.
He is the centrifugal force of not only this Australian team now in repelling Jasprit Bumrah to allow guys like Head to play those innings that he played, but he's also a medium to long-term player for this team when there are several guys appearing in the top order with their eyes painted on with acrylic. So
that's right.
The 64, even though there's a loose shot to get out and it's a good catch from Jaiswal, is very, very important in terms of the optics and the conversation down the track, given this game's already won.
Yes.
So, I just want to shout that out. Steve
Smith strangled down the leg side. That was hard to watch because like he's struggling and he walks. Steve Smith walks.
He never walks. That's one of the most demonstrative things.
We've seen him bowled and he never walks. Come through, Menzel. Come through. You're fine. You're fine.
Go, Menace.
You're fine.
One of the old-timers. Let's go.
Siraj is a fuckwit. Steve Smith, he battles and he battles and he battles and there's like a set field for him and he gets a freebie on the hip and he gets inside and he just nicks it down and he just walks. I've had enough. I can't figure this out anymore. It was as alarming as it was depressing. I really felt for him, I
used to get upset when Steve Smith hung around at the crease after being bowled. But I think I'm more upset that he nicks one down leg side and he's the one who says, yeah, that's out. I am, It just goes to show.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm concerned. I think he's got one more in him, Smith, and I think that's what we're going to be working for.
Fair enough.
So.
Okay, we'll talk about the last session then, and India had a full session basically to bat, and you know what? I feel like Cummins, who we've spoken about in the last sort of week and a half or so, that his performances, whilst not horrific or sort of out of form or any calls to leave him out or anything like that, just a little bit unders, just a little bit unders, and he's been consistently the best bowler for Australia in ages. And the effort that he put in the first innings to get Rishabh Pant was enormous.
Sniffs.
And even though you can see he's struggling with the consistency of pounding the deck, which is his trademark in many ways. And then he bounces out KL Rahul to get the first wicket here. He bowls an absolute peach to get Rohit Sharma. That's the 5th time he's got Rohit Sharma out in the tests. And the energy that he is exuding when he takes these wickets, you can tell that he probably knows that he's just been slightly unders. And it's probably more pronounced when there's been 5 batters that are well unders. So it makes it sort of 6 guys out of 11 which are unders. But his contribution is still so important, and I feel like his bowling effort in this game was very much similar to Marnus's batting effort. They are willing and trying so hard to get anything out of themselves. They're obviously not in peak form or anywhere near it. But these are key moments, right? And Australia's basically won the game tonight.
Oh,
right?
and a guy that criminally, from our perspective, as in I expect to be arrested post-play for not having mentioned until this point in 2 dailies, is Scott Boland.
Yeah.
Because he has looked threatening on both days, really. You know, when he bowled in the first innings and then he gets Jaiswal. And I mean, we were feeling here in the ground that if Jaiswal wasn't removed in the first ball, then you're in trouble.
Yep.
You know, now, thankfully, in the first innings, that happened. But, like, after the first ball, it was like, Kratz is bowling down leg side. Kratz is going at 5s and 6s here. We're in trouble. And then Scobo comes on and nicks him off. And I've always felt like Jaiswal does struggle with, you know,
sort of
balls
wafty.
at 140 when you get a beautiful leg cutter as a left-hander outside of some, you know, when it pitches on middle and moves away at about 1.5 degrees. You know, that is how you get Jaiswal. Scott Boland is just... He's an endless threat in all conditions other than particularly flat conditions for baseball in England, which means that, you know, the media will be cursing him, but still.
And then Rishabh's innings is so weird.
And Rishabh's not out yet.
He basically finishes run a ball, right? And, like, he's played 5 of the best shots you've seen this year, interspersed with, like, just great leaves and just, like, leaning on ones to the left side.
Rishabh is so bored by good bowling. like talk about great body language. We were just laughing at, like, Cummins just, like, attacking your middle and off stump, and Rishabh just being bored and going, like, I think I might have one for a mid-wicket there. You know? I mean, Cummins got him first inning sniffs.
Yes,
you know, something violent at his face.
Yeah.
So Cummins can do it, but... there's something about the way that, like, the dismissiveness of Rishabh's defence or leaves, where he's like, well, that's obviously not in whatever quadrant that I see in my head, where I can, you know, like, ramp you as I fall over or hit you over cover to the same ball. That makes you just think as an Australian, like, I'd really like this guy to be out, because I feel like if he's just in for 60 minutes, not to be confused with the Yarn Events show.
The program,
the program.
That's tomorrow night.
Or the program. But thank you. He could do some damage. So just want someone to get him out, and then we'll play on.
Kratz obviously gets Shubman Gill. That's sort of twice. Shubman Gill's been late on a full delivery.
Also looking bored when he's playing shots, but then I guess when you rock and roll middle peg.
The class is there. The class is there. Anyway, so that's the state of the game as we go to it. Should we get to hashtag AskTGC?
Couple of questions from...
and again, thank you very much.
It's a Pay Pigs.
It's a Pay Pigs, okay.
Pay Pigs today. So this is people who are on Patreon, patreon.com/Great Cricketer.
Chat's been popping off.
Yeah, it has. And it's mainly people interested in the picture of Higgins putting the camera together and his biceps. And let me just go past that. JL's LinkedIn profile manager says, has cricket seen a bigger coat than Mo Siraj?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
okay. Every Australian cricketer from 1960s to 2010.
Exactly.
20.
Exactly.
And I just want to highlight on that. Like, I just can't underline enough how qualified we are to recognise a coat being a coat.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
Because it takes one to know one.
Recognise a fuckwit being a fuckwit, because this is the entire business has been built off this. And so, like, everyone who's made it this far or seen the part where we're sledging Siraj is going to say, like, yeah, but what about Sandpaper? What about the years of abuse that your team, that you support, put onto other teams in the world? And it's like, that's exactly what I'm saying.
That stuff...
we are the most qualified people in the history of this sport to talk about when someone's being a fuckwit. Now, like, I'm not saying it's about... look, life comes at you fast. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with that, yeah.
but I'm just saying we're pretty qualified to call out someone being a fuckwit. That's all I'm saying.
But actually a pretty good bloke off the...
I feel like he actually might be.
Yeah. Ian Hastie's School for Gifted Cricketers says, Boomerang booty, how get?
Yeah. Birthday cake.
Exactly.
For Sanjana.
Matt Wade's Scare Goggle says, if either team fuck around in the last over like the magic spray shit from the batsman, should be an automatic extra over. Don't rob me of an overcoat. Now, this is... not to be confused with it wearing an overcoat.
An overcoat, but,
this is, some of the... I mean, look, for me, I don't want to go too much into this, but... Overrate chat is a honey trap for AFP people.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know normal people who go to the cricket and go like, I only got 78 overs. I've actually not got value for money here.
Yeah.
Anyway, just like game's good or it isn't. not everything needs to be monetized and
squeezed,
divided down into metrics and stuff. I don't know. Fujitsu, Australia's favourite air conditioner, says, "Who the fuck is Genghis Khan?"
Yeah, that's why you come to a live show.
Exactly.
That's why you come to a live show.
Come to a live show, Melbourne. You rat dog says, "Is Smith's recent form enough proof that Ritalin intake causes significant early onset macular degeneration?" I can't answer that, and I actually think it's actually out of line.
What I can answer is there was a stumping appeal at the end of the day's play where Boland was bowling and Kerry's up to the stumps, and then NKR was facing, and he played and missed, and then Kerry took the stumps. No one else appealed, but the Ritalin brothers came storming in and convinced the umpires to look upstairs. Turns out none of us are even here. Well, that's TGC outside the Adelaide Oval for day 2 of this test match. We are heading back tomorrow morning. It's been fantastic. Thank you to everyone that's come up and said g'day at the Adelaide Oval. This is just one of the most special places you can watch cricket. If you've never been to the Adelaide Test match, honestly, absolute bucket list. If you're a sports fan, this is as good as it gets here. It is absolutely magnificent. We'll be back though to wrap up day 3. Could be the end of the day's play, you suggest, for this second test match. But that's it. Thank you very much for supporting TGC. Thank you very much to Adelaide for having us. You guys are fucking magnificent, and we'll see you guys on the internet tomorrow. Cheers.